like he just lived his life. He was like, whatever, that was a weird experience, and he kept living his life. And he went into like this coma for like 2 years, and then all of a sudden he got out of this coma and he started having like these like super advanced psychic abilities where he can like control weather.
Welcome back to the show, guys. My name is Ty, and this is Total Disclosure. We are here today for a special breaking update on something I've actually been interested in for quite a while. But the Mexican military UFO filmings and just basically how the Mexican government is pretty open when it comes to the phenomenon. They do not shy away from sharing information and being a little bit more transparent than most people give them credit for. Now, I was reached out to a while back after doing an episode by an individual who said that I wasn't even close to having the whole story. So I've invited that individual on to give me the specifics of what he's talking about. But before we get into that, guys, make sure to like this video, share it on social media with your friends and family, and subscribe and ring that bell for notifications so you don't miss any future uploads or live streams. We got an amazing week of podcasts ahead. I can't wait. And thank you to our sponsors, TubeBuddy and Movie Palette. You guys are amazing. All of our codes and our discount codes are in the description below. Feel free to check them out. Follow us on Twitter. Do all that stuff. But without further ado, let's introduce the man himself.
Hey, yeah, thanks for letting me in, man. I really appreciate
One of the things that I pride myself on is, playing this disclaimer. So, if you or someone or if you have a story that you want to tell, I am here to hear it. So, basically, what I want to do is, you did reach out to me with specifically about the South America
Right.
region. Now, what are you from South America? Why are the research?
Yeah, so well, yeah, I'm Mexican, and I just felt it was just really weird that like me growing up, like a lot of my uncles and like family members like would see like UFOs and stuff, just in their day to day lives, like my uncles and stuff.
And we've all heard that in the United States that
Yeah,
down there you
dude, it's
see one,
crazy. Yeah,
and you're like, oh, that's just a part of life.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, people don't really freak out, and like even if you tell the government, like what are they gonna do about it? Like they're they're so
Yeah,
like
we
inept,
no.
you know.
That definitely lends credence to the fact that I have heard that many times that, down there it's a different culture, you know, culturally they accept it.
Yeah, it's crazy, like, some people think it's, like, especially, like, people, like, in really, like, rural
Paranormal, right?
areas. No, they don't think it's paranormal, yeah, they think it's, like, witches and stuff, like, "Oh, that's just, like, a," like, when they see, like, an orb, it's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's just, like, a witch just, like, flying by." It's like, that's, like,
Yeah.
obviously
It's like even whatever way you want to paint that story, it's wild. Whether it's a UFO or a witch, we're talking wild.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I think the reason why they're interested, like, in these UFOs or something, like, it's because of the, there's, like, so many, like, geomagnetic anomalies in the area.
Now you had said something about that. Now,
Yeah.
can you talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, of course. I mean,
So when you
s-
say geothermal activity, what do you mean?
no, geomagnetic.
Oh,
Um,
I thought you said geothermal.
no, just like geomagnetic. So like, there's
So
just like, yeah, sorry, yeah, geomagnetic anomalies. So like, just variations in like the magnetic field of the Earth, in those specific areas. So like,
now
yeah.
how uncommon uncommon is that?
Oh, they're like so uncommon. They're like super
Right.
uncommon. Yeah.
Now, I do know what a geomagnetic anomaly is. Now, it's a basically a disturbance or a fluctuation in the magnetic force. So your sometimes in these spots, your compass will spin. Am
Yeah,
I right?
that's right.
Yeah. So um, I do know what that is. So you're saying that geomagnetic anomalies occur in South America.
Yeah, well, I don't know about South America. I just know Mexico. I'm pretty sure it probably does occur in South America. There's no like
Yeah,
doubt.
I'm sorry, I'm
Yeah.
not the best with geography. So
Yeah.
Mexico is not part of South America?
I mean, it's North America, or it doesn't really matter. But like what I'm saying is like a lot of these places, like for some weird reason, that they're like a big UFO hotspot,
Right.
right?
I think it ties into the geomagnetic anomaly.
Yeah, and like I kind of just wanted to like relate to that because like the Nimitz video, like the where like these fucking objects where these objects are going to, it's like Guadalupe Island, which
Right.
has like two giant hotspots of like just like geomagnetic anomalies, right?
Right, now this is one of the videos that they did film off the coast. This is not the Nimitz one, but this is one that the Navy, in the South Pacific, they watched it splash down. So they watched this craft basically go airborne and then into the water. So that's a
Right.
transmedium craft. Now, do you think that that area, that region. Now, I am going to Catalina Island next month, January 16th to the 20th. Um, um, Marlena and I will be at Catalina Island. So, not only is it a vacation, but I'm going there for filming and other reasons because I'm involved in a project that I can't announce yet. But Eric, I want to talk to you more about this. If this, you know, you know, I just want to talk more after we're done with this. But what do you think the connection is to Guadalupe Island?
Well,
Because
apart from
Ben
like,
Hansen has talked about this. Um, People from the Nimitz talk about this. Unidentified, they even talked about it, like on the show, Unidentified Guadalupe Island.
right.
So what is the connection? Is there another anomaly there? Is there just a lot of sightings?
Yeah, there's just like a lot of sightings. I mean, from what I've heard, there's just like so many sightings, and it's not just that area. There's like another one called like the zone of silence. I've actually been there. It's actually really insane. Um, it's like this other area in the north of Mexico, and it's like actually in Mexico. It's not an island or anything. And the whole area, like, it's just so bizarre, and it's been studied by universities because it acts as for some reason there's a lot of space radiation in that area for some reason. Like, there's no actual like scientists still can't understand it.
Right.
So like a lot of the fauna and a lot of like the animals there are like super like just like endemic to the area. Like they're just from that area. Like for example, I swear to God, like there's cactuses that are like pink.
Yeah.
There are turtles that have like spines.
So why is it called the zone of silence?
Yeah, well, the reason it's called the zone of silence, is because originally they were gonna do a pipeline there, and there was like this Mexican oil company that wanted to do a pipeline, and they started finding out that there are some areas where you have like zero signal, like you can't talk to walkie-talkies. The
Do you think something's disrupting?
Yeah, it's definitely there's something disrupting. There's something disruptive about it. I know there's a geomagnetic anomaly there. I don't know if that has to do anything with it, but scientists have also mentioned that for some reason in that area, a lot of space radiation gets like just thrown in there. and you get like a lot of weird stuff, like what happens in like like the Bermuda Triangle, where like planes fly over it, and they just crash.
Yeah.
You know,
Um, there's many, spots on the earth like it, um,
right?
that that we are finding out more and more about.
Yeah, but what's unique about this place is that it acts as a massive meteor magnet. For some weird reason, like a bunch of meteors just fall there, like all the time. And there is this,
Really?
yeah,
As
this
if
is
they're getting pulled?
yeah, so they're getting pulled. That's right. And there was a UFO crash in 1974 where it was kind of like a race between the Mexican government and the US government, and like the US government won, and it was pretty much like this UFO crash, and this is like
So,
just
can you name the crash? Can
um yeah,
is
Koyome. It's Koyome here.
I've heard of
Like,
this.
yeah, the Koyome crash or something. Yeah, it's a Koyome is like this yeah, Cayome is this town in Chihuahua. The northern state of Mexico, and that's where, because the Sonus Islands is not just like one small area. It like covers like this giant amount of land.
Okay.
And
And now now what is this all about? Now, the Mexican military,
right,
you basically what you're saying is the Mexican military and the United States military are acting, um, not racing each other, but they are both involved to some degree in, um, the collection of data or retrieval of these these crafts,
yeah,
these UFOs. Now,
yeah. Like for example, the Guadalupe Island, like foreigners aren't allowed to step in. Like
right?
that's crazy. And like by the way, there's a Navy base there that's supposed to be for like weather. It's like a weather station or something, but I like it just
Is it
doesn't
a
really make.
United States?
No, it's a Mexican army weather station. The thing is, in the U.S. in Mexico, it's in the Constitution that it says like no army can like have a base in the country. So like officially, there's like none. Like there's no actual like U.S. bases or whatever. But anyways, like like all that kind of stuff, and like the magnetic anomaly, and not letting foreigners into the island, because this is a big island. This isn't like just some small island. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's a fairly big island, and, like, it's just so weird that, like,
Yeah, because
foreigners aren't
I
allowed.
remember when unidentified, they had to stay on a boat, and
Yeah.
the guy had to come out to them on, on the boat so they could talk because foreigners are not allowed on the island.
Yeah,
So
and there's, like,
that
people living in that island. You know what I mean? Like,
there
what the
was there
fuck?
you could see fishermen.
Yeah. Literally,
Um,
yeah.
so now, do you think the Mexican government knows more than they are letting on?
Yeah, well, this is the thing about the Mexican government. So they've never, okay, like, let me just go back to like, the Mexican, like, silent zone, right? So, like, after that, there were just, like, so many other more, like, UFO sightings where it was just getting too out of hand for like the Mexican government. And like in 2004, like they released this video, pretty much just admitting that UFOs are real, and like showing like clips and stuff. Because like
Is it this one?
yeah, it's that one. Um,
So, okay, so they're basically showing now you can see
yeah, they're
these
like 11
orbs.
objects.
Yeah, there are about 11 objects. They're counting them off, um, one by one, but these craft are not showing. So basically, the surrounding area around them is cooler than the craft itself, right? But there should be some sort of plume coming out the back to show propulsion. In this case, it's not.
Yeah, yeah. So like the thing is, what happened is, so like in 2004, the Mexican Air Force got like a call that like 11 unidentified objects started coming in. So like they thought they were drug smugglers. They were coming in from like the south of Mexico, so like they thought it was like Colombian drug smugglers or something like that.
Yeah.
So they sent out like you know, a lot of their like planes and stuff. And that's what they captured. And they saw these objects like do like just move like a super erratic paces. Like they said that they
Right.
can move like
Defying all means of
yeah,
of
and they
of
swarmed them. They swarmed them.
yeah,
Like when you
and
yeah.
wasn't there a case where, I don't know if this was Italy or Mexico, but where, um, y there was an attempt to shoot one down, and it failed miserably, and fired another. The UFO fired like a beam, and brought down the plane.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I don't know. I think I don't think the Mexican military did that, but that's crazy though. I've never heard of that though.
Now, what's the official stance of the military, or the Mexican government towards UFOs?
Yeah, like they're super like this is a thing. So they're like super open about it. And like they're kind of like really just admit that they don't actually know. You know what I mean? They really because like they didn't just release the video like with this 2004 one. They released a whole like almost like analysis of like of like the weather at the time of like the objects of how like it was moving and stuff, and it was like picking up like all the way to, from like it was moving like 10 miles per hour all the way to like 380 miles per hour, just like extremely rapid paces and stuff like that.
Right.
So what they did is that they didn't just release the video to the public. They gave it to a specific journalist. His name is like Jaime Maussan. He's actually really famous in like the
I
UFO
know.
community and stuff. Yeah.
I do not like him,
You don't?
but I don't. He um he has a long history of believing anything he's told.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like just like Bigelow. Um, and then, Jaime put on that convention with the body, and the
Yeah.
body ended up turning out to be human,
Yeah.
and, Jaime, just basically, put the blame on everyone else, and I lost a lot of respect for him because of it.
Yeah. No, listen, the thing is, Jaime, like this is the weird thing
But
about him.
there's
Like,
no doubt he's the most famous,
yeah.
you know, Mexican based UFO. Like,
But he's yeah, like I swear to God, he has like a actual connection in the government. I can assure you this so
well, no,
fucking
I could, I would
like
only assume, because
yeah,
he's part of the media, that
right.
they would also want to be able to influence if they need to.
No, but he like
So
admitted it just recently because like I actually watch him, like his show, his like
yep,
little like show that he has, and he started working with this like I guess it's like a whole organization based on transparency. So like what I think in the US it's like the Freedom of Information Act, you
yeah,
know?
FOIA, yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So what essentially happened is he's working side by side with this transparency agency to so what they want to do is like they want to like get some of the database and like some of the data that he has, and like they're actually like working with it together, and they recently came out with some sort of what's it called again? It's so there's like this case that happened in the 70s where pretty much just like a small plane was going into Mexico City, and all of a sudden like three UFOs like swarmed around it, and he
mhm,
lost control of his like craft and he was just going up. And like the guy was like super scared, like screaming Mayday and stuff. And like I think he like, like even like pissed himself or something like that.
okay,
And he was just super scared and like um the thing is, no one believed him, but because they didn't release the radar footage, right? The radar readings, and just recently, like a couple months ago, Jaime Maussan was like working with this transparency agency to like release the radar footage and stuff and like the
from that
readings.
incident.
Yeah, yeah, and it's an official document. You can like it's an official government document that just got released. It's absolutely crazy. It's actually on his Twitter if you want to see it.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I just wanted to bring up this. How do I get you back?
right. But I
Here.
just got totally off track. I don't even remember what Jaime Maussan was about.
I just want to read this for a sec. So, Mexican Air
Yeah.
Force pilots film and observe 11 unidentified flying objects on March 5th, 2004. So, this is around the same time as, it's the same year and the same, only a couple months difference between the Nimitz being filmed, the Nimitz incident. So um, that's interesting. That is interesting. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is pretty interesting, honestly. And
Oh,
what caused yeah.
okay, so continue with
Yeah,
your
yeah, so, like,
your
what
research.
happened after the release of this video into, like, with Jaime Maussan and stuff, well, they're obviously, like, skeptic and stuff, but, like, like, it was pretty clear, like, if the Mexican government and the Mexican Air Force doesn't know, like, it's just, it's not some dude in, like, some journalist, like, some company isn't gonna, like, just fucking tell you what it is, you know? So, what essentially happened is that there was, like, this whole sort of hitchhiker effect in the whole country. Like, for some reason,
Yeah,
Mexico
now
after
talk
that.
about that. Now that's what I want to focus in on because that's the
Right.
thing I've never heard before, and I want to hear more about this. Now,
Yeah,
the hitchhiker effect is not something that is scientifically proven.
right.
Now, this is something Gary Nolan's talked about. Lou Elizondo has talked about. A lot of the people from Skinwalker Ranch have talked about. Now, the hitchhiker effect is basically when you come across something otherworldly, paranormal, whatever you want to call it, and then it basically follows you, or uh, you know, I hate to say haunts you, but it it you take it with you. And you're saying that this happened to a whole country.
Yeah, so for some reason, after they released that video, there were just swarms of UFOs, like, caught all over the country, like, just all
So,
over,
do you
and
think
that
people now? Are you familiar with CE5?
yeah, yeah, of course.
Do you think that that maybe triggered something in the country and the people and their consciousness, and maybe they were thinking about UFOs so
Oh, yeah,
deeply
maybe.
and so profoundly, like it was radically changing how they thought, and maybe contact was being made subliminally.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. I definitely do believe that, like, there's no doubt in my mind. Like, I think that once the Mexican public became more open towards this reality, I feel like these UFOs probably felt more comfortable, being around them, or something, maybe to change the consciousness. I'm not sure,
Now
but
you're a firm believer that UFOs are real.
yeah, definitely. Well, like, what I want to say is that during this wave, that's when I saw my first UFO as a kid. I was actually with my cousin, and the thing is, for some reason, during this swarm, they like all the crafts are kind of the same. They're just like metallic dots, and that's exactly what I saw in, like, with my cousin and stuff. And
So
yeah,
so
and it
what
was
about
around the same time too.
so what about Virginia? What do you
What
know
about it?
about
Yeah,
so
it's interesting.
I mean it's what do you mean it's interesting? It's one of the most interesting cases ever.
Yeah, I mean,
Ever.
yeah, yeah, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, I mean,
Why do you think that part of the world is such a hotspot?
well, I really do think it's because, like, there has to be something with the geomag with the this, like, geomagnetic stuff. Like, there has to be some sort of interest there, like something geographical about the area. And I'm not sure. Maybe I have no
Is
idea.
uranium produced in any of those areas?
Yeah, it is lithium, all that stuff.
So could there be a connection to the production of uranium? Because we know that uranium is then used nuclear. Um, and also, that area is good for, being able to hide. Maybe they need to hide in a place with an electromagnetic anomaly.
Yeah,
Maybe,
right.
so we don't detect them.
Yeah, maybe that might be one of the reasons. I also think
They
one of
have
the
an
reasons.
interest. They have an interest in what we're doing and what we're doing with uranium. Um,
Right.
and and a lot of it is produced down there, and then funded throughout the world or sent throughout the world. Um,
Well, yeah. I mean,
so
I think it's multiple factors. I don't think it's just uranium. I think one of the other factors might be, like if you look at these two countries, Mexico and Brazil, they're like an extremely mixed race country, right? So,
Yeah.
like, for example, as a Mexican, I can tell you like race um relations is so different compared to like the US and like other countries. Because like I feel like there's more tensions in other countries than like in Mexico, since like like everyone's in Mexico is like super mixed race. And I can't even talk about Brazil because like they're like like a mix of three different races, you know what I mean? And they kind of like all live together like relatively peacefully without much racial tensions that you see like in other countries, right?
Right. Well, they
So
don't have
that
the media pitting each other against pitting everyone against each other.
right, yeah, I mean that, yeah, I mean maybe, yeah, right,
It's a
and
huge factor. The
yeah.
media is a huge factor.
Yeah, it definitely is, and I think I really do believe like when I look at it, like where are the biggest hotspots in like pretty much the world for UFOs? Like I kind of think it's like Mexico and Brazil. I don't really know any other places. Maybe like Russia and the U.S., but I feel like that's more like
No, I mean
military based.
the United States is the number one.
Yeah, no, but I think that's more like military because Mexico, Brazil don't have nuclear bombs. They don't have any like military capabilities to really like interest them like that. So there must be some other factors other than military, because they're definitely not scared of Mexican military, or they're not interested in it. Like there's no,
Yeah, there's no interest in what they're doing,
yeah,
and that's why because the United States is definitely ground
yeah,
zero for UFOs,
most
but
definitely, yeah,
but I think Mexico and South America is a very close number two.
yeah. No, I definitely think so, and I think it's because it's probably just interest. Like maybe they just want to see like how a race, how like a country that where like race isn't that big of a factor, and they can like mix peacefully and like
Do you
essentially.
what do you believe in hybridization?
I don't know. I don't know about
I
that
know
stuff.
I kind of start drawing the line there.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like, this is the
but
thing, like,
well,
I just yeah.
a little bit simpler. What about abductions? Do you think abductions are real?
Oh, dude, that's such you asked me right at the perfect timing, because was literally watching this stuff about I forgot which one it was, but it was, like, about this UFO abduction. I think it was, like, some I don't know if you guys know, like, Eyes on Cinema? It's, like, the super interesting YouTube channel with, like, a lot of, like, raw data
Okay.
on, UFOs. And, I was just watching about it, and the way they described how the UFO disappeared is, like, something that has, like that I've seen personally, you know? So it kinda made me doubt, like, "Shit, is this real?" You know what I mean? Because I personally, honestly, before I saw this video yesterday, I really thought it wasn't real. I thought it was maybe some sort of, like, psychological problem or some
Do
sort
you
of,
want to
like
describe your sighting?
yeah, well, like, the Mexico one, right? Like I said, when I was a kid, the thing is, the one I'm telling you about, it was like this
The floor is yours on this
yeah,
one.
there was this sighting
Describe
that
it in
happened.
full detail.
Right. Well, the abduction one I told you about, what they said is that they saw this orb sort of like collapse, like it disappeared by sort of collapsing into itself.
Right, we've heard this before about it almost and that to me is either interdimensional because that would make sense, right? It's
Yeah.
folding into space-time itself and it's going to go interdimensional or it's unperceivable to the naked eye how fast it's moving. So it
Yeah, that could
looks
also be
like
it.
it's folding in on itself and it's really just like a hyperdrive.
Yeah, no, I've thought about that too, because well, the one I told you about, I had this like UFO sighting in like 2008 in Mexico, and it's literally the same.
So describe
Metallic
it to us
dots.
in detail.
Yeah, well, I was just a little kid. I was just with my cousin in the playground, and my cousin, talking about the hitchhiker effect, like literally, like around those weeks, my cousin was telling me like that he saw a UFO, and I wasn't too sure. I was like an 8-year-old kid. I was like, yeah, maybe. Like I'm
Yeah,
not, you
just same
know.
as you saw Santa Claus.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I did believe that life could be out there. Like with such a big universe, there has to be something, but I didn't know if it was like here in this planet, right?
Right.
So, all of a sudden, he's talking about UFOs and stuff, for a week. I thought it was interesting. I did believe him because he is my cousin, and like I'm also 8, so I pretty much believe whatever they tell
Right.
me. And I we were just in this we were just in this like this park, right? Just playing there. And all of a sudden my cousin says, "Look, a UFO," and he like points up and this thing was huge. Like this was like really close to us. Like it was a big metallic dot. Like it would look like a bean because it had
So it was kind of
it
it
looked
was
like a pill. No, like a bean. Yeah, it can't be a pill because it was like really thick too. You know what I mean? It was
right.
kind of
No, no, no.
chunky.
A bean is like
A
so it's
bean, yeah.
rounded, but then it comes in and up and down.
Yeah, like an
Like
oval.
like an oval, but like kind of
Yeah.
distorted on one side.
No, the thing is, it was an oval, but it wasn't distorted on one side. It was like a bean that wasn't, you know what I mean? Like it was just like imagine it like a Tic Tac, I guess, except like it was a little bit chunkier, like more round, I guess, more like oval like.
Let me see if I can
And
find a picture. Keep going.
yeah, I mean the videos that like that happened in Mexico City or like in Mexico around those times are literally the same UFOs I saw. Like I don't, like you can just like look them up. But yeah, my cousin just pointed at it, and it was so bizarre. It was like as if it knew we were like looking at it and like pointing at it because like the minute he pointed at it, it was like there for 1 second, and then it just like super slowly. It was like as if it wanted us to see how like that it's actually disappearing, like, just slowly in front of our eyes, it started, like, collapsing into itself, and then it just
And then it was
disappeared, it
gone.
wasn't there. Yeah, it wasn't there anymore, and then after that, I was pretty freaked out, and so was, I was actually pretty freaked out, so, like, I told my cousin we should get out of there,
And
and yeah.
so when I always ask this for sightings. When you were when you knew you saw it and you had the feeling of it seeing you,
Yeah, exactly, I felt like it
right?
was looking at me, yeah.
Right? What was the atmosphere like? What was the atmosphere around you like at that time?
We were just alone in this park. It
I
was
know,
like a
but
yeah.
did the air seem thicker? Did anything change atmospherically that you can
No.
remember?
No, I don't
Any
remember.
smells?
No.
No?
No, it
Okay.
just disappeared, yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting. Well, that I always love sightings. Now, was that the only UFO you've ever seen?
No, that's what started everything. That's the first one.
First of
Yeah, of
many?
many. Oh yeah, dude, I I see them like not all the time, but like they just pop up randomly in my life and recently they've popped up and they popped up in the super personal way just like a year ago. And it kind of got me into back because this is the thing. I've always been interested in UFOs since I was 8, since that experience happened because I knew it was something weird. Like I can literally see the aluminum was, like, shining, you know what I mean? Like, I can literally see I don't know if it was aluminum or not, whatever material they used, but, like, I can literally see that object shine like it was real and, like, we both saw it, right?
So you could almost like you could reach out and touch it, just like you could touch, you
No,
know,
I don't think I can, like, touch it. I mean,
a
if it
phone.
was up in the air, you know?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, but it was physical.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Like, you can yeah, that was definitely, like, a physical yeah, that was definitely, like,
yeah, it
some sort
wasn't
of
an orb
object.
of light. It was something
No.
that if you could touch
Yeah, like,
and
hit a rocket at it or something, you
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, uh, and no windows, no rivets, no nothing.
No, it was just, like, have you guys like, I don't know if you ever seen, like, Mercury? Like a dot, like a little, like, blob of mercury.
Yeah,
It literally looks like that. It's like a blob of mercury.
interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Now, what was? Are there any other sightings that are that?
Yeah, yeah, I'm about to I'm about to tell you about one of them. So I've been like, in and out of UFOs, but the thing is I've always gotten into like even when I was 8 years old, I was going like surfing the web and stuff like and I got to this point where I just said like there's so much stuff that seems really fantastic, like just too unbelievable, that like I feel like I just like kind of hit the point where like I can't get any more new research on this. So I've had like little bumps in the road like that where I would just like in and out of like this UFO stuff.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like a year ago, I got this really hard, like it was really intense experience where it was like the middle of the night. I was just, I was just in my bed. It was the summer. It was really hot. I had my window open, and I, I, I just started thinking about, yeah, like that. It was like the exactly like that. Yeah, it was like a
Yeah.
dot of exactly. That's literally how it looked like. But I was just in my house and it was really hot, and then all of a sudden I started thinking about UFOs, and I started thinking in my head, like, listen, if it's 4 a.m. right now, I think the probability of seeing a UFO, like, out in the air would be like super like common. Like I think it's what I mean? Because like there's like a lot of people are falling asleep. Like there's
Yeah,
no
I say early morning. A lot of
yeah,
people say early morning is when they do their movements.
really.
Yeah, like there's a lot of evidence to suggest that, you know, after midnight, maybe even like 11 o'clock
Right.
through 4 a.m. is a lot of the sightings are that's when they take place. But
Yeah.
but more and more are taking place in broad daylight.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I'm friends with someone who writes books about sightings, um, county by county, state by state.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and her name's Cheryl Costa, and she has books on Amazon if anyone wants to check them out. But um, she has dates, times, like everything. She has done, and she's doing regional, like for the whole country.
Yeah. That's
So
awesome. I
yeah,
gotta get I gotta look it up then.
it's
That sounds
amazing
really interesting.
because she has the largest compiled data set when it comes to UFO sightings, larger than MUFON.
Wow. Yeah, you
Yep,
gotta let me you gotta link me up with that.
I will.
But but anyways, like it was just a summer, and like I want to let you know, like I was not into UFOs at this time. Like I was just a normal like college kid. Like I was not like I mean I was into like I did know I had like this experience and stuff, but I was not like like looking at documentaries. Like I would just kind of put it to the side in my life, and I had like this weird like just thought of the UFOs, and I started thinking like, oh yeah, maybe like since it's 4 a.m., it's gonna be easier to see a UFO. So I put my head out, I look up, and I see this giant orb just like pass through my house. And like the thing is, this orb is like turning like bigger and smaller. So it's like
Yep.
it's turning, it's like expanding, and it's also collapsing into itself. But it collapses into itself so hard that like it looks like a ping pong ball in the sky, and
So
then
a
it
ping
turns
pong
so
ball that
yeah,
folds in.
and then it just turns like so big, it turns like almost like to the size of a car or a house or like not a
I'm
house, maybe
sorry.
like
Wait.
a
I'm sorry. What?
yeah, like this thing was turning
The,
so massive. I didn't understand. Like it was just so
it
weird. Like so
expanded.
yeah, so this orb was passing through my so I this is the weird thing. So like as I had this thought like oh maybe UFOs are more common at 4 a.m. Let me just pop my head out. I pop my head out. I look up, and then at the exact same moment a UFO comes out like that an orb, and it was going slow, going straight into the woods, and it was like pulsating, right? So it was getting really, really big, and then it started collapsing into itself until it looked like a ping pong ball, and then and it was turning so bright. I didn't know if it was like getting close to me or it was like shining a light, but I think I think the whole orb was like
Now,
turning big.
was the light emulating from within inside, or was it the light itself?
What do you mean?
You said it was bright white, right?
Yeah, it was like pure. Like I've never seen that type of white. It was like the purest.
Right. Now,
Like
was the white emulating from something, or
no, it
what?
was just an orb.
Okay, just an orb, just a classic orb,
Yeah,
right?
like just imagine like a star. Like just imagine like an actual star or like, when you look up in the sky, except this thing could like turn into like the size of like a car,
School
you
bus.
know?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
like it was like
yeah.
not that big. It was like it was pretty like I think it was a little bit far away, maybe like two maybe like 5 stories up, You know what I mean? But, like, this
Yeah,
thing was, like, turning into, like, the size of a ping pong ball into, like, the size of a car. And
that's
it felt super personal, like, I felt not personal, like, it was like, it knew me, but I felt like, "Oh my god," like, this thing, like, is looking at me, you know what I mean? Like, I
right.
felt and when it passed by, like, I felt like because it was summer, right? I felt like all the crickets just, like, quieted down.
So I
Like,
hear
they
that a
all
lot too. That 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 when the sighting happens, it's like noise cancellation.
Yeah, it literally is. It's like it's the most unsettling quiet you can, like, ever, like, it was just so like because like, you have to imagine this, like, all of a sudden, it just, like, noise cancellation and this object shows up, right? And you're like, "What in the
And
hell?" Like
and now it's making no sound.
no, nothing. I mean, even the crickets got quiet.
Yeah, and where are you from?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I was born in Mexico, but I live in DC.
Where was the sighting? The second sighting?
DC?
So
Well, yeah, Washington, DC.
so the crickets. Um, I don't suburbs of DC.
Yeah, suburbs, that's
Yeah.
right.
So suburbs of DC, the crickets, they go all night. They don't just
Yeah,
stop. You know, if they're like crickets here, they continue to go and go and go and like make noise all
right.
night. So for them to silence and then like if you weren't paying attention, would you even known it was there?
Yes, dude, the thing is this thing got so big. Like, cause I don't think you understood how, like, personal this felt, like, just imagine you're just like a normal college kid, you're like it's like 4 a.m., you're in your house, like, you're home for the summer, and then all of a sudden, you just get this random thought of UFOs, right? Just thinking about
Yeah. Do you think?
UFOs.
Do you think that you may have some sort of connection
Dude, that's that's what I'm trying to say. So, like, after that experience, I started getting into, like started trying to look up, like, telepathy
or
and,
human
like
initiated contact?
no, but I didn't know what that was at the time. So I
But it led you down the
it did
road
it yeah, it
of
let me, yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Because that's the
Now,
thing, like, just imagine it, like, just you pop by your head, and that exact same moment, this object comes out, you know? Like,
whoops,
it's
I
just
didn't mean to put that
so
up.
no, you're fine. Like, but you know what I mean? Like, just that almost immediate response of, like,
Yeah,
you know?
what was your first thought?
To be honest with you, I was like
Why don't
when I
you take
was
a picture
the thing is, it turned so big and it turned so small and like it was going straight into the woods, so I knew it was gonna just disappear like into the woods. Like I wouldn't see it because of the trees covering me.
okay?
So I was just shocked. Like I was flabbergasted. Like I couldn't. It's not like I couldn't move. Like it was paralyzing me, but like I was just it was so much shock. Like because
Well,
this
again,
was like really close to me.
a lot of people say that as well, is it's you
Right.
almost, like, can't take your eyes off of it.
Yeah, but I mean, I got other videos of orb because the thing is, after that orb showed up, a bunch of them started showing up, but like all over my life, like all of a sudden, like I started seeing them more and more, and I got pretty good video of it. Like one of my videos has like 40 or was it like 4.4K or something like that? And it's like it's just this green orb flying around.
Now, I should put you in touch with my buddy, um, love his perspective because he practices CE5
Yeah,
and he's able to connect with orbs.
really?
Supposedly, yeah.
Like how do you connect with them? Because I've never felt like this is the thing. Like I've never felt like they
Well,
telepathically talk to me or
he
anything like that.
he meditates and then asks for them to come. They come, and you know it's his way of making this is what he says, right?
Right.
He's very legit. Like,
No, I mean, I've
uh
done CE5 and it works for me every time I do it.
yeah, for me, I haven't got there yet, but what are your thoughts on
Wait, like
Dr. Greer?
you haven't been able to do contact?
Yeah, not yet. I haven't
So
tried to.
you haven't tried
I'm
it?
no, I'm perfecting my meditation first.
That's good. Yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
literally what I what I started doing when I first heard about it.
So I haven't. taken that step to ask for contact. So I'm learning how to quiet my brain because I'm always going. I'm always active.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
hard.
no.
It's hard for me to really focus. So I'm mastering that aspect first, and
Well,
then
yeah.
I'll go from there.
Well, I had a really recent experience with my friend doing C5, so I try to get my friends into this because once I had this experience, I wanted to find out more about it, and I had like this weird thought of like maybe telepathy is real. And then eventually I got into Stephen Greer. And I think you asked me about him. I think he's like a complete hack. Like I think he's
Yeah, he's such a grifter.
Yeah, he's like I don't like that dude at all. Like and
He's
plus like
sold out
he's so sold out. He's so
because
sold out.
we cannot brush by the fact that he played a huge role in
C5, yeah.
no, not CE5. He played a huge role in the Disclosure Project. He was the Disclosure Project, and that 2001 National Press Club event was historic. He did amazing things, but then somewhere along the line, he sold out.
Right.
So, uh, you know, unfortunately, it's a story we hear far too often.
Yeah. No, and the thing is, he acts as if he like made C5, but like
No,
C5 was being made by like
CE5
Cisco Caswell.
predates
Yeah.
CE5 predates Dr. Greer
Yeah, by decades.
by if it's to be we could go back Native American lore, you know,
Yeah. Yeah, even.
with the ant people coming to rescue them before the flood. So human initiated contact has been you know in the lore for millennia,
Right.
so no, Dr. Greer just uh what he did was modernize it.
Okay. Yeah. No, he definitely did.
But now
But
there
what
are
what
other groups like Heist.
really? I have to look into that one. Is it like better than C5 or
No, it's the same thing. It just they don't
push the
uh
Greer stuff?
yeah, they don't push the
Yeah.
Greer narrative.
Yeah.
It's Heist stands for human initiated contact
Yeah.
something. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, yeah. I think I don't know if you know Engaging the Phenomena, the YouTuber.
I do.
He's talked about it a lot. But
I do.
what I wanted to tell you about is that I had a recent experience where I wanted to convince one of my friends who was a skeptical. He was like really skeptical about the whole thing about C5. And the first meditation we did, like it didn't work. Like we didn't get anything. But the second one, before we even meditated, because you said that you're not doing C5 because you're like you can't meditate or something. We didn't even meditate. Once we got there, the object, like this orb, made this like I mean, it looked like a lightsaber, It looked
Yeah.
like a it
Like
made like
a
this line in
yeah.
the sky. It made yeah, but the thing is, it made like the line like just completely like going down. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't.
So it was not a flare?
Yeah, it was not a flare. It was not like anything. But like the thing is, it was so fast. It was like a shooting star. You know? But it was
Okay.
just going directly down, and like the residue of the tracer, I guess you can call it, the lightsaber type of tracer, stayed there for like a couple seconds and it just disappeared.
Well,
Like,
what about Starlink? Did you check?
yeah, but yeah, the thing is, it's like this thing moved extremely fast. Like this thing moved like a shooting star, and it was so bright that like it just shocked it shocked my friend. Like he was just flabbergasted. And the thing is, he already knew. I told him about like yeah, like when you do CU5, like these orbs. Like I told him like the movement because like these orbs move like extremely fast if they want to, and they can pop in and out, and
Yeah.
they can leave tracers. And when they move really fast, it looks just like a shooting star, but they do curves. You know what I mean? They do
Yeah,
like I saw
90-degree
one.
turns.
Yeah, like I saw one of them. This was really cool because it was right outside my apartment. I saw one orb do like a Nike swoosh.
No
You know what I
way.
mean? Like it made
Yeah.
like it made the Nike swoosh, like the
It
like
did the it did the
yeah, like that. It was like that. And then when it got into the curve, like when it got into like it was in the curve position, it got super bright. It was like as if it took a photo or something, you know? It was like a big flash, and it just
Right.
zoomed out into the sky.
Now, you'll have to show us your videos sometime.
Yeah, I have it on YouTube. I mean, I can send you the link right now if you want.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have to save that for next time, but um, because I'm probably gonna wrap this one up
Right.
now. But here's the deal: I want to bring you on to a panel
Okay,
to
that's
discuss
perfect.
this more.
Wait, there's just one more thing I want to say though. Is that cool?
Yeah,
Just like
good.
one last thing, because like this is really what I wanted to say. I don't know if I already mentioned the police officers I told you about, like the
Oh
governor.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Good. Yeah.
Okay, so when I wanted to say about this, there's like after the Mexican government released this footage in 2004, there was like this huge hitchhiker effect all over the country, and it was even going into the military operations and stuff because during the Independence Day, like there's like this whole aerial show, and you can literally see like metallic dots like flying in between the fighter jets and like flying in between the helicopters.
Oh
It's
no.
absolutely crazy, and it happened for 3 consecutive years during the Independence Day because that's just what happens.
So
And
the
there's an
Mexican Independence Day.
yeah, that's right, right in the center of the Capitol. Like you can literally see the orbs like passing through the helicopters because like it's just like a swarm of helicopters, and there's like one individual
Did
metallic dot.
they release any statements about this?
No, that was just like the public, like people who were in the area. But this happened in 2005, like just a year after they released the video. There was this public ceremony which where it had the governor of the state, it had the heads of police, and it had the entire media. And what the ceremony was supposed to do is they were supposed to inaugurate, like new trucks and like new police cars that got bought, I guess, or like that were like about to be part of the police force. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of the ceremony, people in the audience started pointing to the sky, saying there's a UFO.
What?
And yeah, and well, the media was there, so they were taking pictures.
I know.
This
Where
was like
can I
live
find
on.
this?
Yeah, this is on YouTube. Look it up. Jalapa. That's the state. That's the city. Jalapa, Veracruz. It's like
Well, I don't know how to spell that.
it's
One second.
XALA.
One second. One second.
All right.
XALA.
Uh, PA.
Wait, what?
XALAPA. Like Jalapa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it right here. Here's the video. It's here. I don't know if you want me to
Send it to
send you
me in
this.
the private chat.
Okay, video. And that's national television right there. And there's even news reports on this because like the whole media was there. And what happened is they started forming these orbs, exactly the same metallic dots I've been talking about, like the mercury dots. They started forming a triangle, and they stayed there for like 30 minutes, and they disappeared. And they asked I think it was one of the police officers, the head of the police or something, and like they were like, "What was that?" Like, trying to get like an answer out of him. And I think he said like jokingly, like, "Oh, the Martians are here."
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, but like it was just a joke. Like they don't actually, you know what I mean? They don't. I don't think they actually know what the answers are or like want to cover this up. They're just like, "Well, that happened."
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a news report if you want to see it.
One second. Jesus.
Mientras unos sufren, otros hasta
Can you hear
bromean,
it?
aunque primero se sorprenden. Algo se veía en el cielo de Veracruz, en Jalapa concretamente. Ahí estaban las imágenes y hasta el gobernador lo vio. Pero bueno, esto pasó en México, en Veracruz. Mientras unos sufren, otros hasta bromean, aunque primero se sorprenden. Algo se veía en el cielo de Veracruz, en Jalapa concretamente. Ahí estaban las imágenes y hasta el gobernador lo vio. Fidel Herrera se quedó literalmente boquiabierto cuando vio antes de un acto público ahí en Jalapa varias esferas en el cielo que cambiaban rápidamente de ubicación. No eran globos porque se movían muy rápido de un lugar a otro. El mandatario estatal sonrió y ¿sabe lo que dijo? Bueno, se lo invitó a decir,
Oh shit.
los marcianos llegaron ya.
Yeah, and
Damn.
that's just one clip. If you actually speak Spanish or like you put the subtitles in, the speaker, like the guy announcing what he said, he says that they weren't balloons because they were moving sporadically from one place to another, and they stayed there for like 30 minutes and just disappeared. Like the guy says it in the video, it's in Spanish, so
Right,
it's
right.
kind of hard to understand.
Well, um, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, because like it's kind of hard telling the governor that he didn't see what he saw. You know what I mean? Plus, like the whole press
Right,
was there. It's kind of
right.
impossible to cover that
And
up.
they're all pointing up at it.
Yeah, and that's just one clip. I know there are. It's really hard to find these clips, but I have even like pictures of so like the Jalapa, like that the city like Gazette or whatever, like their Gazette, like had like front cover of it, and they have like even better pictures, and there's more videos on it online, but they're just really hard to find.
And that's the thing. They always make these things super, super hard to find.
Yeah,
Um, and 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 the media does this, like, because they'll only report on it once, once or twice, and then they'll move on and whatever, whatever. And the video just gets buried in the archives.
yeah, exactly.
So it's up to us to dig those archives up. Um, so dude, thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah, of
I
course. Thanks
wanna
for having me.
I wanna make you a regular, man.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
You
Appreciate it.
you you know your shit, so we'd love to have you on the show again. Next up would be like a panel style, and I can introduce you to some people who have also had their own experiences. So that way you can talk to them as well.
That's perfect. Yeah, thanks. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. You don't do like a podcast or anything?
Me?
No, yeah, you.
No, I don't. I mean, I used to. I have like a Yeti mic and stuff.
Oh,
You,
cool.
yeah,
Well, and what do you feel about being on camera?
yeah. I mean, that's cool. I don't mind.
Okay, cool. We'll talk. We'll talk. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. And that is our first the first edition of our witness special report. So, Eric is our first witness who wanted to share his story and his research. So, Eric, thank you for being so open. And I can't wait to hear more of what you know and what you've seen because it seems like we've only just scratched the surface.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, guys, make sure to like, share, subscribe. And Eric, do you want to let them know where they can find you on social media?
I'm good. I'll just do that in the panel.
Okay, cool. All right, guys, as always, keep your eye to the sky. You never know what you're going to see. You could see the next best thing, UFO. That's what I mean.